The afternoon sun reflected off parked cars inside the quiet suburban neighborhood. I locked my vehicle calmly, heading inside after a long shift. Minutes later, raised voices echoed outside my front window. I glanced out, noticing an agitated woman beside my car. She held a keyring proudly, jiggling keys with confidence. HOA Karen muttered angrily as the key refused to turn. Suspense crept in as she tried again, harder this time. She claimed her master key opened all community vehicles. I stepped outside quietly, observing without interrupting yet. She glared at me, insisting my car violated HOA parking rules. I calmly explained it was my personal vehicle. Her face twisted, offended by my calm response. Suspense thickened as she demanded I unlock it immediately. I declined politely, asking why she needed access. She declared authority, citing emergency HOA inspections loudly. Neighbors peeked through curtains, sensing conflict brewing. Suspense surged as she pulled out her phone angrily. She dialed 911, reporting vehicle obstruction and noncompliance. I crossed my arms, waiting silently. She smirked, convinced backup would validate her power. Sirens approached faintly within minutes. Suspense sharpened as patrol cars rolled into the street. Officers stepped out, scanning the situation professionally. Karen pointed at me, explaining her failed key dramatically. She claimed I refused lawful HOA access. The officers turned toward me for identification. I reached slowly into my jacket. Suspense peaked as neighbors leaned closer. I handed over my sheriff's badge calmly. Silence slammed into the street instantly. Karen's confident smile collapsed completely. One officer straightened, recognizing the badge immediately. "Sheriff," he said respectfully. Suspense exploded as whispers spread among neighbors. Karen laughed nervously, assuming confusion. I explained my car was private property. I asked why she attempted unauthorized entry. Suspense returned as officers questioned her instead. She stammered, insisting HOA authority overrode personal ownership.
Ow.
I shook my head slowly. HOA keys don't open county-owned vehicles, I stated calmly. Neighbors quietly recorded everything now. Suspense peaked as dispatch confirmed my identity. Karen's hands began shaking visibly. Officers warned her about false emergency calls. She attempted backtracking, blaming misunderstanding. Suspense flipped as officers requested her identification. She hesitated, suddenly unsure. I instructed officers to document attempted unlawful entry. Karen protested loudly, voice cracking. The officers issued a citation immediately. Suspense deepened as potential charges were explained. HOA authority meant nothing in this moment. Neighbors watched, stunned by the reversal. Karen's phone slipped from her hand. Officers reminded her HOA rules don't override state law. Suspense resolved as patrol cars prepared to leave. The officers apologized to me respectfully. Karen stood frozen, humiliated publicly. I unlocked my car calmly. I placed my gear inside without another word. Suspense softened into quiet justice. Neighbors stepped out, whispering among themselves. Karen avoided eye contact, retreating slowly. Her master key hung uselessly from shaking fingers. HOA notices disappeared from windshields afterward. The neighborhood grew noticeably quieter. Power shifted back to rightful boundaries. Suspense faded into lesson learned. I drove away calmly, mirrors catching curious stares. Karen never touched another car again. HOA enforcement meetings ended abruptly. Authority was redefined that afternoon. One badge stopped false power instantly. One call backfired spectacularly. The street returned to normal. Neighbors smiled when they saw my car afterward. Respect replaced intimidation permanently. HOA power shrank overnight. The law remained unchanged, as always. My car stayed exactly where I parked it. No keys rattled near it again. Silence replaced entitlement. Boundaries were finally understood. Power learned its limits publicly. Authority doesn't come from keychains. It comes from law and responsibility. Karen learned that lesson painfully. The neighborhood never forgot the moment. Neither did she. One master key unlocked nothing. One badge unlocked truth. Respect returned without shouting. Justice didn't raise its voice, it simply showed up.